Hey guys, Dr. Davin Lim. Welcome to another episode. Look, today I'll get straight to it. It's 5 natural ways, that's 5 natural ways to help reduce acne or to help cure acne. As dermatologists, most good dermatologists don't actually go, hey, let's go for the Accutane. When I used to do general dermatology, I try my best not to put patients on Accutane, nor antibiotics, but try to treat acne naturally. So the first thing we should do is actually look at the diet. It's been scientifically proven that dietary modification can help with certain types of acne, including teenage acne. So what do we look for? First of all, we want to actually avoid foods which are high in sugar content. Do chocolates actually make acne worse? It's not the actual chocolate itself, it's actually the sugar. And the sugar modulates IGF levels, which then modulates, in other words, changes how the oil production is made. By a recent study from the Journal of American Academy of Dermatology, is showing that a diet high in dairy products can worsen acne. So which means try to cut out your milk intake and try to cut out your dairy intake and replace it with soy. Other trigger factors which are really rare, and I don't advise this, include things like gluten. So that's a very rare cause, but certainly dietary modifications. Eat healthy, eat good food, less sugar, less caffeine, cut out your chocolate because of the sugar levels. If you're going to eat chocolate, eat dark chocolate. And certainly eat a healthy, balanced diet, and that can actually reduce the amount of acne you have. Step number 2, something which I can't help, but it really does help, is to reduce stress levels. Think of the times that you're stressed. When you're stressed, you get acne. When you get acne, you pick. So that's what we call acne excoriates, when you're actually picking because you're stressed. So if you can modulate stress levels, chill out like myself most of the time, acne can get a lot better. Okay, so that's step number 2. Step number 3, enjoy some sunshine. So sunlight actually makes acne better. When we go on a holiday, for example, on a beach holiday, it's not only the relaxation and the decrease in stress levels which make acne better, it's actually the sunlight, because sun actually contains wavelengths of light in the 400 nanometer spectrum and the 600 nanometer spectrum, which the bacteria are sensitive to. So sunlight and taking a beach holiday can actually make your acne a lot better. It may be impractical for some of you guys, like in Utah, where it's freezing cold in winter. But for us, for me, when I'm in Queensland, if I do get a little bit of back acne, I'm out in the surf, and that's cleared up because the light kills the bacteria, and that's a safe and natural way of doing things. So that's step number 3. Step number 4, what can we do? So we can use certain things like chemical peels. So if we talk about natural chemical peels, we have to actually be very careful with what's natural and what's unnatural. What is really good for acne basically is salicylic acid, and salicylic acid is comes from aspirin. So if we're going to define things as natural, is aspirin natural? No, it's not. So even though salicylic acid is a great peel, it's probably the best peel for acne compared to lactic acid or TCA peels or glycolic acid. If I'm really following the rules, salicylic acid, even though it's the best peel for acne, in my opinion, can't be considered natural because, hey, it's aspirin, man-made product. So what peels do we use, or what lotions? AHAs, alpha hydroxy acids or glycolic acids. So glycolic acid peels can help, and same with lactic acid, as you will see in this video very shortly. So, chemical peels for acne. Now that we've excluded salicylic acid, what else can we use? And that's glycolic acid or alpha hydroxy acid peels. These are known as fruit peels, so these are actually naturally derived peels. In fact, they're so natural that we actually use these in pregnancy and lactation. It's that safe. So alpha hydroxy acid or glycolic acid, we always have to start at a very low concentration, and it's tailored for the patient. Realistically, at our practice, we start at around 20% and then go up to 35% and hover around 50%. But look, if you guys are starting at-home peels, seriously, we should start at a very low concentration of somewhere between 5 to 10% and slowly work up to 20%. These peels need to be left on for a few minutes before being neutralized. So they are not self-neutralizing, unlike salicylic acid peels. You do need to be very careful with these peels, but they can be excellent for skin rejuvenation as well as removing blackheads, whiteheads, and comedomal acne. So this is just one form of peeling, which is known as glycolic acid peels. The skin is usually red for a couple of hours afterwards, but the results are there, and you can see a marked improvement, especially for this kind of acne, which is basically comedomal acne. What we want to do is we want to unclog the blocked pores, and that's how chemical peels like this work. So another form of AHA peel is known as a lactic acid peel. I'll show you how we approach an acne patient, and we're doing what's known as a lactic acid peel. So briefly, lactic acid is also called an AHA or an alpha hydroxy acid peel. It needs to be neutralized. It's weaker, generally speaking, it's weaker than a glycolic acid peel, concentration for concentration wise. And it's usually more gentle on the skin compared to a glycolic acid, but still it falls under the umbrella of an AHA or an alpha hydroxy acid peel. Lactic acid peels are one of the oldest. In fact, this is the oldest peel known to man or woman. In fact, this is called a Cleopatra peel, because if you look it up or Google it, you'll see that Cleopatra used lactic acid, not in bottles like this, but she actually used goat's milk, which produced lactic acid. So sour milk was the first invention of chemical peeling by the Egyptians thousands of years ago. Obviously, since then, we've formulated it in different strengths, different concentrations, and to deliver it in a much safer manner to treat conditions such as acne, which you'll see very shortly. So hang tight and we'll show you how it's done. So I like to do our lactic acid peels, which are basically like sour milk peels. And they're a form of gentle chemical peeling which can help exfoliate the skin, and we're using light treatment for your acne, yeah? Mm-hmm. So overall satisfaction rate, pretty good?
Very good, yes.
Very good, cool. Cool, so we've cleaned the skin and now we're going to put some lactic acid. Rach, what concentration of lactic acid
This is actually 40 because I know her skin.
40, wow, that is super strong. So guys, hey, just be really careful. Rachel knows what she's doing. Give me a tick, I'll just show you. This is the Aspect Doctor we're using, and it's a neutralizer out there. So here we go, we're actually peeling using 40, wow, that's a good strength. So guys, don't do this at home, please. Just see a professional. Rach over here is a professional. So Rachel's done realistically a couple of thousand peels before, yeah. So she knows the skin backwards, and most importantly, she knows nickel skin backwards. I always say to if you really want good treatments, go to one person, because one person knows the skin better than anyone else. So I get my nurses to actually look after one person, so they don't go to see different nurses, especially when it comes to laser treatments and chemical peels, because that way we know how to push it up, and that's great for the patients. Is it stinging?
It does. It stings, but it's good sting.
Good stinging? Okay.
It smells like Manuka honey.
Yeah,
really? Yeah, it's actually a really nice prep with this, with that. And Rach, so how long do you leave it on for?
I'm going to watch her skin.
Yep. And what are you looking for?
It's reacting quick, the erythema.
Good. So you're looking for redness. What else are you looking for? Asking the patient for pain, aren't you? So you're always getting feedback from the patient. How's everything going?
All good.
All good.
Still fine.
Not painful.
Nope.
Yeah. So we always ask the patient, for any chemical peel that we do, it's always the same thing. We always look, we always ask the patient. If they're in discomfort, we neutralise early. If there's a lot of erythema or redness, we neutralise early as well. So we don't take for granted what we've done before, but we're always looking, always seeing, and making sure that there's no reaction.
It's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear, pretty good.
I'm going to give it one more minute.
We're going to give it one more minute, guys. And what I've done with her regime is that I've combined. So we're going natural here. So we're using light treatment. So I'm using this electronic system. So sometimes I use red light, sometimes I use blue light, sometimes I mix it. What are we doing this time? We're using red light. Okay, so the action spectrum for the porphyrins for the reds actually go a lot deeper compared to the blue. So we're getting good results with using the electronic, so we'll stick to that. Sometimes what I do is I do red and blue at the same time. The reason why this light works is because it activates the porphyrins, which are found in p.acnes, which are the bacteria that cause acne. So that's the logic behind the red light. Okay, guys. So now we're neutralizing it. So now it's been about how many minutes was it? You timed it?
It's been 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And a little bit. She's just going a bit red.
Yep, and that's why we're neutralizing it. So how many percent did you start off with, Rach?
20.
Yep, and then?
And then 40 and then 60.
Okay, cool.
But most people get a good result of 20. I just want to speed things up for Nicola a little bit.
Cool. So remember, Rach is a professional, guys, so don't just do things very slow at home. In fact, I sometimes even advocate a 5% just to be safe.
And you could probably get away with doing that.
Yeah, at home 5% and slowly go up from there because it's it's always safety first, yeah, because we're doing pretty high-end stuff. Very important. See, look what Rachel's doing. She's actually neutralizing around the corners of the nose. We always make sure that that area there, because if you're gonna get burnt, that's where that happens, as well as the corners of the mouth. Sometimes, I like to put Vaseline around that area to protect QV. And she's being very careful and neutralize everything, make sure everything's off.
Nope.
Oh, really?
Or maybe on my lips. There. That's fine.
Cool, that was easy.
Cool.
And now we're going to put it under the light.
Cool, so that's step number 1, which is lactic acid peeling for acne. And like I said, for acne, yes, I'll get a lot of comments, why don't you use a BHA or an AHA? Reason being is that this patient prefers a lactic acid peel, and guess what, it works, so why am I going to change it? Mm-hmm. But yes, the logic behind a BHA peel, a salicylic acid peel, is there because a BHA has got anti-inflammatory properties. So, but having said that, each one to their own. I personally like my own TCA peels, but everyone has their own preference. Okay, finally, this is my laser bit, light. So I define what's natural as light treatments. Are these things here natural? They don't contain chemicals, but they produce light. For example, using the BBL, for example, or broadband light. Light is natural. All it does, this machine just filters out certain wavelengths and produces higher outputs of specific wavelengths which kill acne. So here's a quick explanation of how I use light, which is natural in my opinion, to treat acne. So why do I define light as natural? It's basically this: we are taking all the other spectrums from natural sunlight, we're filtering them out, and we're delivering 1 or 2 spectrums to safely deliver high energy, specifically to target the bacteria. So in this situation, Rachel is using what's known as the electronic system, which is delivering a red light. The action spectrum is around 630 to 633 nanometers, and how it works is that the red light itself targets the bacteria which are in the oil glands. So bacteria produces something called porphyrins, and the light itself activates the porphyrins which kill the bacteria. So that's why when you go to the beach, and that's why you go on the holiday, your acne seems to improve, because both blue light in the 400 nanometer spectrum together with the red light in the 600 nanometer spectrum combine and actually kill bacteria that way. So basically all we're doing is just that we're condensing that hours or minutes into just 9 minutes worth of light. Another way to treat it is to use ALA itself, which is basically produced by the bacteria. So it's a synthetic variation of a natural product, which is called aminolevulic acid. So this is called biophotonics, and I think you guys in the US will be getting the system. It's called Kleresca. And instead of using red light, this time we're using blue light, but we're using it in 2 spectrums. If we use blue light by itself, can it still work? Absolutely, that's called the old Omnilux system. And certainly Omnilux over 20 minutes using it every week over 9 to 10 weeks can certainly improve acne naturally. And once again, it's all natural because it's just light that we're using. And yes, there can be an argument that ALA is a synthetically produced variation of a natural chemical. But look, in all intents and purposes, I believe that this is a natural treatment because at the end of the day, we're using bioequivalent synthetic chemicals. So there is a real science behind this treatment, and it's been quite robust because it's been scientifically proven to give relief for up to 6 months and extending beyond that. So how does it feel? So mate, this is your, how many treatments? Your second?
Third treatment.
Third treatment. How'd you find that?
It's good. It's quite easy, just lying here.
Yeah.
A light sting, and you come out feeling quite hot, like you spent a day in the sun.
Yep.
Besides that, it's quite an easy treatment.
Yep. And are you red for a couple of hours after that?
It all sort of fades within 2 hours.
Cool. Excellent. Mate, thanks for that. Cheers, mate. Another form of laser light I use is known as V-beam or vascular laser treatment with a pulse dye laser. In this situation, I'm treating both acne together with post-inflammatory erythema. So I'm hitting both acne together with red acne scars. Another method is actually old-fashioned, but it works, and that's to use the blue light filter, somewhere around the 420 nanometer range of a simple BBL or broadband light. This itself, once again, it's not a laser, it's actually broadband light, it's intense light that's filtered, and that can actually target the acne forming bacteria, same way as before. Okay guys, so we're doing a modified SpectraPeel. So SpectraPeel is basically a non-drug way of removing or reducing pimples. The idea behind that is that we've got carbon, which is absorbed by the oil glands, and we're using a laser. The laser targets the carbon creates heat and destroys the bacteria as well. It can reduce oil production and certainly firm up the skin, reduce acne scarring, and treat acne at the same time, all without drugs. It looks kind of magical because what happens is that the laser itself targets the black bits, which are carbon. So this is my way of doing a modified SpectraPeel. I use 2 different settings and it's super cool. So guys, look, that request was from several viewers about how to treat acne naturally. That's my top 5 hints because it's a very, very common condition. If I can reiterate, make sure you get your diet right. And a final note, I must admit, sorry, number 6. I'll give you an extra one. Number 6 is this. You know I'm not a makeup guy, but I'll tell you this. That one of the most common things that people make a mistake in is actually the wrong makeup and the wrong products. So when you're looking at things like a moisturiser, make sure you use a light moisturiser because it can clog up your skin. So you're looking for the word non-comedonegenic, which means it's non-acne forming. And same with sunscreen. Use a light sunscreen, something like La Roche-Posay. I really like it and it can help because it's non-comedonegenic, so less chance of acne. And most importantly, look, I'm not a makeup guy, I'll tell you this though. I do know a little bit about makeup. Use a light makeup. So use something like mineral makeup compared to liquid foundation. And at the end of the day, let your skin breathe. Yes, I do know that you want to camouflage your acne, but if you can let it breathe 2 nights a week, it will really help. So that's the extra hint, guys, for getting your skin nice, clean, and clear. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe if you like more accurate information. So remember, I'm a dermatologist. I'm not here to sell. I'm just here to educate. 1 new video every Saturday morning Brisbane time. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.